This week, Governor Kemp will travel to South Korea on an economic development trip. It will mark 4 decades of partnership between our state and the country.
But this trip has some added importance, coming just weeks after hundreds of Korean workers were arrested by ICE at a Georgia car factory. Atlanta News' first political reporter, Doug Reardon, is live tonight at the Capitol. And Doug, that will certainly be a conversation over there.
Yeah, I think it's unavoidable when Kemp goes over there to Korea. And the governor did tell me today that he hasn't really stopped talking about it since that September 4th raid swept up about 300 Korean workers. It's been such a big deal. It made international headlines. Those workers were mostly contractors there to install parts that Americans don't have the expertise to. Sometimes that information is proprietary, but ICE says they were on the wrong visas. And so now this economic trip will be just as much about economy as it is also about immigration.
We've certainly had to do some explaining about what happened.
Governor Kemp will travel to South Korea this week, less than 2 months after a September ICE raid on the sprawling Hyundai plant near Savannah saw 300 Korean workers detained. ICE said those workers were on the wrong type of visa, and most were sent back to Korea just days later.
To me, even though it was an unfortunate incident, we'll build off of that and hopefully have something good that comes out of this.
Immediately, Kemp and President Donald Trump proposed changes to the country's short-stay visa program that would allow contractors with special knowledge of equipment and installation to come in, do their work, and leave.
So that's the conversations that I've been having with the White House, is like, how do we address that issue to try to clear this up, make it more streamlined.
Kemp expects to have more of those conversations when he meets with Korean officials during his trip, in addition to courting new companies to Georgia. Korea has served as a backbone for Georgia's economic development. The Hyundai plant at the center of the ICE raid is Georgia's largest economic project, and other Korean companies like carmaker Kia and battery manufacturers Q-Cells and SK have bet big on the Peach State.
We're going back to continue to build that relationship. We still have a lot of things that we're working on with all of these companies and some potential for some new ones.
And a lot of opponents of the ICE raid worried that it might scare other international companies from investing here in Georgia if they aren't guaranteed their workers won't be swept up in raids like these. We asked, Kemp told me he has not seen that yet. In fact, Hyundai announced that they plan to spend $26 billion in the U.S. through 2028, and that includes $3 billion additional dollars at that Hyundai plant near Savannah. At the Capitol, Doug Reardon, Atlanta News First.
Thank you, Doug.